Hey, what's up, guys? Gangster Jeweler here. Sorry it's been a minute since we made a video, but I'm still under the weather. But we're gonna film these couple repairs that I got here. Oh shit! Drop the ring, guys. Done drop the ring. Now we got a ring here. This one comes to us from Value Pawn. Or one of the Value Pawns I do. I don't do all the Value Pawns. Some of them I used to do, and then that's the problem with the corporate stores is they change managers and shit so much. You almost can't even keep up with them. Steve at Main Street though, he's been a real G. I've known him for a long freaking time, man. And he's always been loyal. Whenever he could use us, he uses us, you know what I mean? All the other ones are pretty wishy-washy. That's why I don't really recommend doing corporate stores. Try to do mom and pop if you can. Mom and pop and online, that's where it's at. At any rate, stay away from the corporate stores. But at any rate, guys, we got, let's see, this says size. What's this thing say? So shout out to Steve at Main Street, man. Size 8, go up 2. Damn, this thing's going up pretty far. That's a 5.5. So we're going 1, 2. Let's see, 1, 2. 1, 2, 2.5 sizes. Wow, it's going up pretty substantially. We're going up to here, and it's white gold, so we're gonna have to definitely gonna have to go ahead and cut it. Use your jeweler saw if you want. If not, if you got clippers, cut them if you got them. Cut them if you got them. Now this ought to be fun. Now we're going to have to add a pretty substantial piece of gold in here to make it an 8. We're going to have to open this thing all the way up here. We're going to go past an 8 because we don't want to put too much pressure on the piece that we put in there, because if so, it could blow out. You could heat it up and look for the line, see if it's been sized before. But being that it's a 5.5, I doubt it's been sized before, so I doubt it's got a piece in there. But it will have a piece in there when we get done with it. We just don't want too much pressure on that piece that we end up putting in there. But shout out to Steve, man. Me and Steve go way back over at Main Street. Way back when he used to be the manager over at University. Me and him used to ride motorcycles together. I don't ride motorcycles anymore. I'm done with that shit. People drive too crazy nowadays, and with people texting and driving and stuff. No, I gave up on it. Yeah, we used to ride bikes together. He used to have I bought a TLR 1000 from him, and he had a Hayabusa, candy apple red Busa. But them days are done. But Steve's always been good, man. Whenever he could use us, he's always used us. And Steve's always been a solid dude. Alright, we got our ring open to where we want it to be. And you can see we're going to have to put a pretty substantial piece in there. But what we're going to do And remember, when you put your piece in, you want to measure it to be about a quarter size smaller. You don't want to make it right on an 8, because if so, it's going to end up being too, by the time you file and polish, it's going to end up being too big. So you always want to be about a quarter size smaller. So what we're going to do now is go ahead and file these sides down real quick with our cutting disc. Well, might help if you got some power. There we go. All right, now 6.5, 7.5, 8. Let's see. Measure us a piece here. I have to cut a little bit of that off. So since we got to cut a little bit of that piece off, let's go ahead and mark it where we need to cut it. Right there. I think we got a mark. No, not really. Let's mark it right there. Alright, so we need to cut a little bit off of here. Still don't think we cut enough off of it though. Let's take a look. Yeah, that's good, because we still got to file down the sides of this piece, so that'll work. Hell yeah. Alright. So now what we're going to do is we're going to file these sides of this piece down. And then we're going to cut a groove into the, I like to cut a groove into the sides. It helps hold the piece in the ring a little better. Do that. Flop her around here. Alright, so we got our piece filed down, got a groove. Here, I'll show you guys the groove that I'm cutting. So you see that kind of like a groove in there on the ends. Kind of helps lock the piece in there a little bit. Kind of helps hold it. But you can't have any pointy edges on the ring or this. You at least need to have it flat. If you got pointy edges, they're not going to sit in there too well. They just won't. Alright. So we got our piece sitting in there. So let's go ahead and dip this in some boric acid denatured alcohol. And then set this bitch on fire. We're going to be using a number 5 tip for this. So let's go to the number 5. But don't get me wrong, if some of them other value pawns want to use me, they're more than welcome to. But I don't really, I wouldn't depend on them, if you know what I mean. They're just a little too wishy-washy for me. Problem is that they turn over people way too much. You know, you go away for a while, you come back in, you don't even recognize half the people there. So I know you guys hear me bark about it, but you really need to do mom and pop and online or small stores, not big chains, if you can help it. I mean, if they want to use you, that's great. You know, do their work, but don't depend on them. You depend on them, you're going to be hurting yourself. Do not do it. Yeah, you never want to limit yourself to one set of stores. Like, you know, say you're just doing all Cash Americas, or you're doing all Value Ponds, or you're doing all this store. No, don't limit yourself like that, because trust me, they change district managers, they change managers, you know, and then sometimes the managers, you know, they were using a jeweler already where they were previously, they want to continue using that jeweler, and then they swap op. Then another manager comes back that uses you, you get them back for a while, then it's really weird. Really freaking weird. So don't depend on them, by no means. Alright, let's go ahead and cut us some solder here. We got some flux on there already. And I hate to bitch about that, but I gotta be straight with you guys, man. If you guys are starting out, trust me, I've been down all these roads, I've made all the mistakes I've done, and I'm just trying to give you guys a little wisdom so that you can kind of avoid some of the mistakes over the 30 years that I had made. And then some of these stores, they're like, they don't care what the work looks like, man. It can look like shit. All they care about is price. I mean, and that makes them look bad, you know. But hey, that's them, not me. What can you do? They want Class A work at crackhead prices. That's what I say. Hey, we need to make a shirt that says that. Class A work at crackhead prices. Class A work at crackhead prices. That's a good t-shirt. We need to do that. Alright, let's go ahead and get our piece welded in here. Let me zoom you guys in if I can. Alright, get you guys set up here. Let's go ahead and grab our solder. It's going up quite a bit, 2.5 sizes. Let's go ahead and heat this bad boy up. But yeah, these places, they don't give a shit about the quality of work. All they care about is Class A work at crackhead prices. Alright, let's go ahead and try to get one side welded first. And remember, we're using hard solder. You want to try to use hard solder on everything if you can. I say start out with hard solder, because if you start out using easy and medium, you kind of get accustomed to that. If you just go ahead and start out with hard right from the get-go, you get used to it. And then you find out you can use hard on just everything. I use hard. I don't even buy easy and medium. All I buy is hard. I do prongs with hard, size rings with hard. There we go. We got it through. Weld hollow chains and bracelets with hard. You know, I mean, it can be done, but if you get too dependent on using easy or medium, then yeah, you have a hard time using hard, trying to make that transition. So I say start out with hard to begin with. All right, we got our piece welded in there. These are diamonds, so we're not worried about dipping it in water. Stones ain't gonna shatter. Now, if those were CZs, we would not dip that in water while it was hot, because them stones would shatter. But we got our piece welded in there now. Well, got one side welded in there, the other side not so much. Look at that side there. Well, damn. Looked like it pulled all the way through, but it didn't. Did not pull. Let's see if we can get that to pull all the way through. And here I thought we done had our piece welded in there. Gotta put it back in boric acid denatured alcohol. Light her up again. Let me zoom you guys back in here. And I'm just going to try to pull from the inside and see if I can just get it finished pulling through. Yeah, sure as hell did, man. Don't know why. But what it is sometimes, because a lot of times I'm kind of looking through this camera as I'm doing these, and sometimes it just looks like it pulls through, but it doesn't. But trust me, I've gotten a hell of, if you go back and look at my earlier videos compared to now, I've gotten a little bit better at being able to try to keep it in focus while. There we go. Now she pulled through. There we go. I think we're good now. Damn, this shit sucks. I don't know what sickness this is, but it's like the same exact shit I had where I was sick for 2 weeks. And it feels like I got the same crap. And it seems to be every time I take my daughter to one of them trampoline parks. Take them to the trampoline park, and then like next few days I'm sick. Or start to feel sick. So I might just have to start staying outside when I take her there, man. I can't afford to keep being sick. I got shit to do. Alright, let's, so we're kind of, got our piece welded in there. We're kind of at about a 7.5, but we ain't got this fully rounded out either. But we're going to do a mixture between using the rubber mallet and the ball peen hammer. You want to use the rubber mallet, especially on the sides. Don't really want to use a ball peen hammer on the sides. You just want to use that for the bottom, preferably. I love that slogan, man. We got to make a shirt. Class A work at crackhead prices. We got to do it. Class A work at crackhead prices. Alright, so we're about a quarter size off now. We are almost where we want to be. It's a pretty nice looking ring. But we went up quite an amount though. We went from here to all the way up here to an 8. It's a pretty big piece we had to put in there. Not the biggest. I don't know if I'll get a ring like that, but I had one ring I sized up 7 sizes. Man, that was like a whole, almost like a whole new shank being put on it. And when we get it to an 8, we want to make sure it says 8 on both sides of the ring, because if you don't, you can have it say 8 on one side and then flip it over and have it say like 8.5 on the other. So you want to make sure it says the same size on both sides. Almost there. God damn, I wish this shit wouldn't trying to settle in my chest again, man. But I gotta get back to filming, man. I've been doing repairs without filming, man, just because I ain't... Honestly, I didn't even feel like doing the repairs because I felt like shit, but you do what you gotta do, you know? But I just couldn't film and do the repairs. I was just feeling too bad. Just could not do it. I tell you what, man, if you're wanting to start a YouTube journey, you need to do it. But you're going to learn a lot of stuff. There's a lot more to this than I ever imagined. And it can be a full-time job. But if you want to do it, you're going to have to get into it 100%. You can't get in it halfway, man, because it really is like a full-time job. Definitely not what I expected. I was like, ah, shit, we'll just make some videos and throw them up there. Don't quite work like that. Not if you want to get anywhere, anyways. But I'll tell you what, man. If I'll tell you right now, if I ever, for some reason, didn't make it big on YouTube or Kick or anywhere, I'd probably give a substantial, I can't promise, but I would give a substantial substantial amount to some of my early tippers and donation guys. Alex being one of them and a couple others. But they were the first ones to leave a tip or donation for me. You know, small amounts, but it's the thought that counted, you know. And you know, when you're first starting out, man, you know, and you get that and you're like, kind of gives you hope, you know, like, hey, I might actually be able to do this, you know. All right, so we're at an 8, about an 8 now, and we're at an 8. All right, we're not gonna do any more tapping. It's kind of like a tight 8, but we still got some filing we need to do and clean it up, so we don't want to touch that too much more. Let's go ahead and file this inside down real quick. With our rock here. we got that inside taken care of. Let's go ahead and let's file these sides down a little bit. We're going to use our metal file, and we're going to try to file these sides even with the ring. It's a pretty big piece we had to put in there. White gold anyways. Now remember, the goal is you want to get it filed even, and you want it to be to where you can't even tell where you put the piece in at. At least that is your goal. Alright, we got that one side filed down pretty good. Let's file this inside down a little bit on this side. Do just a little bit more file in here. Alright, we got that side blended in pretty well. Let's go ahead and work on this other side now. We're getting there. All right, let's file the inside down a little bit on this side. Now what we need to do, now that we got the sides filed down pretty well, we need to go over the top, because you can see the piece we put in, it's kind of got a hump to it there. So we want to take the metal file and run across the top. Because we want the top to blend in with the curvature of the ring, the piece we put in there. Yeah, I tell you what, guys, these insurance companies, these homeowners insurance companies, they're freaking out of control here in Florida, man. Somebody needs to address that shit. Still looks a little humpy on this side. Alright, I think we're going to be pretty good there because we still got to smooth this out a little bit, but you can see our pieces pretty well blended in there. So now let's go ahead and switch to our silicone wheel here. For the inside, let's smooth the inside out. But I appreciate all my subscribers, man, but I have a special place for some of the early ones that I've acquired. Some of the real early ones. But I say if you want to get into YouTube, go ahead and do it, man. Get into it, but you better be in it. Better be in it 100%, because there's going to be a lot more to it than you ever imagined. Alright, we got the inside pretty much smoothed out now. Let's go ahead and take care of the outside and the sides now. Shit. And we just went ahead and switched to, this is just another silicone wheel. Smooth out the backside and the sides of the ring. Alright, let's go ahead and make these sides nice and smooth now. Alright, that's one side we got smoothed out, ready to polish. Let's get this other side here. And basically this just gets a lot of the deep scratches out of it. Makes it nice and smooth, ready to go get polished. And just kind of hit the edges of the inside there. Alright guys, we got our piece in there, got it nice, smooth, can't even tell where we put it in at. Let's check our size one more time. 8 on the money. Flip it over. 8 on the money. Alright guys, I'm going to go drop this in the ultrason, then I'm going to go polish it. And then we'll come back and look at the finished product, guys. We'll be right back. Alright guys, we're back with that ring. You can see we got it all nice, cleaned and polished. Got our piece in there. Let's see if I can zoom you guys in here. Got it nice, cleaned and polished. Got fingerprints all over it. But that's not even rhodium plated, that's just naturally polished. And I prefer it that way. Because rhodium plating, you're just wasting money, man. You're wasting money. It only lasts about 2 years. You're gonna have to keep rhodium plating it. And personally, I think white gold polished in its natural form looks just as good, if not better, than rhodium plating. But that's just my personal opinion. Honestly, I think rhodium plating was just another way for the jewelry industry to charge people for something they would have to do over and over and over and over again. Because the rhodium plating only lasts about 2 years max. So I don't recommend rhodium plating, but you know, I'm probably in the minority here. But at any rate, I can rhodium plate. I got the I got the equipment to do it, but I think white gold just looks better polished in its natural form. But at any rate, guys, I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm sorry I hadn't made a video in a while. Like I said, I got that same crap I had several weeks back. And but this is the Gangster Jeweler, guys. I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you'd like for me to do your repairs and you're not in the Jacksonville area, you can visit my Etsy shop, which I'll have the link for that down in the description. Also, you can if you'd like to leave a tip or donation, I'll have the link for that down in the description, although it's not required. I just appreciate you guys watching. But it just helps show some love and some support. Also, if you're looking to buy jewelry in the Jacksonville area, I highly recommend Money Miser on Blanding Boulevard. And if you're not in the Jacksonville area and you're looking to buy jewelry online, I highly recommend Stellar Jewelry, which I'll have the link for that down in the description as well. Also, if you'd like to check out my Kick live stream, it's more of a reaction channel type stream. I'll have the link for that down in the description, and also my other YouTube channel, which is pretty much where all my live streams go. And also I stream live on YouTube there as well at the same time I'm doing Kick. So you can catch me on YouTube at the other channel live there, or on Kick. But at any rate, guys, this is the Gangster Jeweler. I appreciate you guys watching, and hopefully we'll be feeling better soon. And but regardless how we feel, we got shit we got to do, guys. But this is the Gangster Jeweler, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Take care, y'all.